Hello, folks out there. This episode of the podcast is partnered by Audible. Greg, you know what I love about Audible?
What do you love about Audible,
I
John?
don't have to pick up a book anymore and carry it around with me. In fact, I carry it around in my phone, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. They literally keep thousands of titles right on your phone, accessible at any time when you're driving, when you're cooking, when you're mowing the lawn, changing a diaper, doesn't matter. It's all right there at your fingertips, John. They've got podcasts, they've got lectures, they've got some like health and wellness and like fitness series on there that if you just are looking for something to fill that gap, like you're not getting into a book right now, it's all there for you, man.
If you're a member, Greg, what's cool about it is you get 3 titles per month. The first one, you can pick whatever you want. Like I've said, I'll probably start hitting up some of those health and wellness books. And then what's awesome is they have 2 Audible exclusives. Exclusives, folks. You can't get it anywhere else.
It's true. That is very true. So if you guys want to get on the Audible train, you can go to audibletrial.com/JATG. That stands for Johnny and the Greg. Hook yourself up with a 30-day free trial. No promises, no nothing. If you don't like it, which I can't imagine you're not going to like it, you can cancel at any time. But the great thing about that is the books you get during your free trial, or if at any time, those books are yours. Like you get to keep them. You can listen to them nonstop, anytime, all the time.
Sounds like a deal to me, man. So if you guys are smart, like I know you guys are, because you already listen to this podcast, sign yourself up, guys. What do you got to lose? It's 30-day free trial, and it's books, it's knowledge. Gotta drink it up.
It is. It is. So one more time, it is audibletrial.com/JATG.
Back and better than ever. And I totally stole that from Mike and Mike on ESPN. But today, Greg, I liked how it sounded. I'm good, man. How about you?
It's a little disappointing today at the moment. My Green Bay Packers are not going to the Super Bowl.
No, they're not.
I'm upset about that. But yeah, no. Overall, it's been pretty good. We had a good conversation today, though.
We did. We talked to a second appearance on the show, Lance Leazer. He was originally on the band Highway 40s way back in the day of one of our first ever recording podcasts. And he was gracious enough to jump back on. He's plugging his new single. He's part of a new band called the Bourbon Brothers. They are dropping a new single that drops January 29th on all streaming services, right?
Yeah, streaming services, which should be tomorrow if you're listening to this on the day it comes out. So
yeah, we had a good conversation. He got really deep, and he's continuing that positive momentum thing that we've been carrying this whole January. So for those of you that are ready to hear a good story about a guy pulling himself out of the pits and getting back on track and writing music, this is Lance Leazer.
Here we go.
Hey, look who's back. It's Lance Leazer. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm really good.
You look pretty good. So explain to us this mullet. What's going on with this thing? Show the audience this mullet.
Oh, dude, the mullet, man.
Wow. That is full on. You're going for like 1990s country star there.
Oh, absolutely. And then,
Is that perm in the back?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then you just get the curls from the side going. And then I got the goatee because I can't grow nothing right here. So I just keep that short and rock this out. And then I got my pit vipers, but they're in my room.
Hey, are you sure you can't grow it any more than where you have it growing? Are you sure you've given it ample time and opportunity?
I've given it ample time and opportunity, and it just nothing connects. It's all patchy, like
Kind of looks like Mark Wahlberg.
oh yeah, it's not good. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, we tried that during the quarantine. Not that we're not. Well, I mean, during the heavy quarantine, Greg and I grew it out for like the whole summer. Yeah,
we did COVID beards when it was fun, and then
yeah, dude, I was not quarantined. I was still working. The government was like, "Hey, We don't fucking believe in COVID. So we're going to work 14-hour shifts now. And we're just going to stay until one of us gets it. And then we're going to shut down immediately because we're the government and we have to do that. Otherwise, we look like horrible people.
So are you no longer in the Marines?
I am no longer an active duty member of the United States Marine Corps.
Right.
No, sir.
Yes, I understand. There's always once a Marine, always a Marine, but you are no longer active
Absolutely.
duty.
No. I am not.
Okay.
I don't have a contract. My contract is up.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. So the reason we had you on here is kind of for two reasons. Number one, we're kind of rolling into the new year with kind of we like stories where we're hearing people that kind of get kicked down and they find somehow some way to get themselves back up.
Right.
And we met you, God, I think it was our 6th episode ever where Greg came down and we actually talked about you guys because you guys were part of, or you were part of Highway 40, which we thought was a really cool idea where there was a bunch of active duty soldiers that all found each other and wanted to start a band up of country singing.
We are all still great friends.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's great. That's awesome.
And we still are like Highway 40. It's just we're not together
right now
because our schedules just got so crazy. I mean, we were all active duty with different squadrons at different levels of timelines. So I mean, like 2 of us could be on deployment, or all 3 of us could be on a different detachment all at the same time, and we were just never. You know, it was like once every 2 months we were able to get together for 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really tough.
Hard to
I'm
keep
sure
a
it's
band
really
together like that.
Yeah, very, very hard to. Very hard to.
But you have something. So I don't know how to do this, Lance, because I want to dig into what you've been through since we've last talked to you, what you've gone through, where you've been, how you've been, and then kind of transition to what you're doing right now. And you have like a single coming out.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, January 29th.
January 29th, I got my new project that I'm with right now. Our band is called the Bourbon Brothers. It's me and a buddy of mine, Brendan Pugh, with co-writer Josh Howard, who was also in Highway 40. So me and Josh are still best of friends. And actually, he just had a baby.
He did.
Shout out to my buddy Josh.
Congratulations, Josh.
And my nephew Josh, because he was Josh and named his son after him because that's what his dad's name is.
Who does that, honestly?
Like, Josh, I love you, but your son's name is Joshua James III.
Yeah,
you know, I got to put it out there that Johnny is a third
generation.
Yeah, Joshua.
And when I asked his dad, "How do you name your kid Johnny Angel the Third?" He goes, "Well, you just name your kid the same name as you and your dad."
Yeah, my dad's very blind because he thinks he's fun.
And I literally went, okay,
yeah.
Yep, good talk.
See,
I think
okay,
Greg. Every Lance, if you can picture this, every time Greg tried to converse with my father, ended up being like an episode on Friends where Chandler Bing is trying to converse with someone. Just didn't work out.
Yeah,
they were funny. They were fun.
Hey, how's it? Just so that he'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep going. So, Lance, going back to you and not my father here. What so the last time that we talked, take us there and then move us forward.
Okay, so last time we had talked
2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was summer. Was it the summer of 18 or the summer of 19?
Summer of 18, I'm sure.
So that would be over 3 years. Almost 3 years then.
No.
For 3 years. So I'm
sorry. I'm wrong. It was the summer of 19 because I had a baby girl.
Yeah. Summer of 19.
Yeah.
Summer of 19. So since the summer of 19,
yeah,
I had got about a month after that. I got back with my wife, my now ex-wife. Tried it again. Alex, I love you to death, but I mean, same fucking result. So it didn't work out. I filed for divorce. Um, that was kind of it, man. I mean, we are great civil friends now. I mean, we've got great, no animosity towards each other anymore.
Right.
We've grown, we've healed, we're adults about it now.
Well, it's good.
So, but I mean, we tried and it didn't fucking work. So
Yeah. Were you back in the did you go back? You were in the military time, like, so you went out to deployment, didn't you?
Was that?
You went out in deployment, right?
No, I didn't go on deployment.
Oh, I thought you did. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, Josh did.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Josh did. Josh did. Um, that happened while I was still in the military.
Okay.
So in August of 2019, my father passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. He was 100% disabled veteran. I mean, he fought a good fucking fight, dude. I tell you.
Yeah. Did he pass away from cancer or?
No, he took his own life.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he lost the battle to a lot of different demons and figured if he was going to go, he was going to do it himself.
Wow. Wow. That's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't do well with this type of talk just because I have no experience in this realm, and so it's always tough for me to when I say I'm sorry and when I'm and it's a heartfelt. I always feel like no one's really like. There's always this part of me that's saying like, are they really like? Am I giving it everything I have to let them know I'm sorry for that, or is that do I seem callous?
And you know what? If it makes you feel any better, I don't even know where the fuck I'm at in that stage either, bro. So
No,
you're good too, man. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this is all new to me too. So I'm very grateful, and I thank every single person who sends their condolences. And I mean, it's something that I would never wish upon any of my enemies to lose, a dad. Like, and luckily, I'm grateful enough to now still have my biological father too. So,
that's cool.
Starting to build a relationship now, which is something else we could get into later, if you wanted to.
If you want to get into it now, we can. Open book time. There's no real format we're gonna go here. So just
I mean, after the death of my stepdad, we kind of got closer back together, and kind of started a fresh slate, and kind of had a day to just talk about everything that's happened between the two of us. Really,
yeah.
Being honest with each other. And I told him, I was like, look, because he had messaged me one day, and he was like, you're not. He's like, if you don't want me in your life, then you're going to change your last name to Grady's and blah, 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 because I'm not going to have you in my life. And I was like, dude, what whatever, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You haven't been there for me. And I was like, do whatever. And he was like, honestly, son, can we just talk, like, completely 180? And it was like, can we just talk about it, please? And I was like, you want to talk? We can talk, but under my circumstances. And I told him 3 things. I was like, it's at my house. Like, you will drive to me. You will answer every single question that I ask you. And I don't care how bad you think it's going to hurt me. You're going to tell me the fucking truth. And you're going to explain to me everything that you've done to me. And you're going to explain to me why you did it and what you were thinking when you did it, so I can understand and justify whether the actions that you took against me, if the roles were reversed, if I would do the same thing, and it be justified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had that conversation, and some of the answers weren't justified, but some of the answers hurt enough to know that it wasn't a lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's some things that people tell you, and you feel it, and you know that it's the truth because it hurts. Those were the answers I was getting from him, which I was grateful for, because it told me that he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Sometimes somebody told me once that look, when you're a dad, nobody hands you a book and says this is how you be a good dad. And so unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that have children that either A, don't want it, B, aren't ready for what it's going to entail. Or like, did I already say they don't want it? They don't want it. They don't understand what really goes involved. And sometimes they just go to default. They just fall into the default where this is how I was raised, so I'm going to raise them this way because, you justify it by saying, well, I'm not that bad, so I'll just raise them like this.
Right. And you don't ever try to stray from the path of what your normal is, and you just hope and pray that your kids can fucking figure it out better than you can.
Yeah, and then there's people, honestly, that I feel are like Greg, who actually will read a book, take it in, and learn how to be a better father. I'm learning a lot from Greg myself in terms of.
Not gonna lie to you, I thought you were about to totally shit on Greg for a second.
No.
It turned out to be sweet, dude.
Oh yeah,
For a second, I thought you were about to just absolutely take a shit on Greg and his parenting.
I just don't want to be like Greg.
I was ready for it,
whatever
dude.
Greg does, don't do that.
No. I think Greg's been a great sounding board for me and for Ursula when it comes to parenting and looking at, because he has 3 children. His youngest is 13, Greg? 10. So he's basically has, and oldest is 16, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So he has 16 years ahead of me.
Oh, I feel like that's a good age for kids right there. Like those
16?
ages that you have, 16 to 10, that's a good age because they can fend for themselves and they're not really fucking up too much. You know what I mean?
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
When mom and dad want to go out, we're like, hey, we're going out. Don't burn the house down. See you later.
Yeah.
I think that's actual word for word what you say. I can picture that.
Yeah. It kind of is now.
I mean, my parents have literally told me the exact same thing, except theirs was more like, hey, we need to fucking leave us for a second to get away from you. Do not burn my house down, please. For the love of God and everything that is holy, sit on the couch and watch cartoons for 15 minutes. Thank you. And then they would leave angrily, and then I wouldn't see him for like 12 hours.
Jesus.
Wow. Well, I remember talking to a guy. I mean, I've never had the experience of a step parent, but he did. And he was like, and I'm trying to tell him because he's nervous. He's like, I'm going to be a parent now. I'm going to be a step parent. I'm like, yeah, but like, you're fine. He's like, no. You don't understand. You had your kids as babies and like all those issues, you just kind of grow into handling those. He's like, I'm starting out. I got to hit the ground running because I think his stepkids were like late elementary, early middle school kind of thing.
Oh, dude, he had to make up. He had some time to make up.
He's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm just like, even just trying not to swear in front of my kids. When they're infants, you don't worry about it that much, and you got time to kind of train yourself to not do that. But now, he's like, they understand all the jokes, and they do. I'm like, yeah, you just don't do it. He's like, I can't just not do it. I can't just not fucking do it. I'm like, all right.
Well, no, I would agree with him. That's tough because you're marrying you're getting involved into a woman's life, and now it's not just her, it's kids. That's tough.
See, I think if I was a father, and I'm about to ask you both of you gentlemen this question in just a second because it's something that's been weighing on my heart because I want a kid so bad.
Okay.
So bad. I want nothing more in this world right now than to bear a child. Like, oh, it would bring me so much joy.
You bear a child?
No, not me bear a child, but to bring a child into
I know
this
that
life.
that was a high check. That was a high check.
Yeah, no, not like physically get pregnant because that'd be fucking weird. That'd be shitting out a baby.
All right, go ahead.
But what we were talking about?
You were talking about you had a question for Greg and I about fatherhood.
But I was saying something before that. I was saying
we were talking basically about how it's probably harder to be a stepfather or a step parent becoming a step parent versus like you growing with. It's basically the same. I guess you could sum it down to saying it's easier to get a puppy and raise it from that point than to get like a 6-year-old pup or 6-year-old dog. It's rough.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
That works, but
I'll tell you what, my stepdad was good though. My stepdad, who I called dad for all of my life, really, from
Yeah.
the time I was 3 to the time I was 22 when he
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
So 19 years of my entire life, I knew him as Dad was his name. And so like he taught me a lot he didn't teach me everything, but he taught me a lot. Taught me like 80% of the shit that I know as a man.
Yeah.
20% I can actually give that to my biological father because there's some things that I've learned from him.
Mhm.
And I don't want to give all of the credit to one person.
Right.
Because I am grateful to have both. And the relationship between both of my fathers towards each other was just fucking shit. So like I just have daddy issues, bro.
Hey man, I don't
so
think you're the only one out there that does. But let's focus a little bit on, okay, so that was a moment where your stepfather died, and you were telling us before the podcast that you got on this kind of this cleanse in a way of of cleansing yourself. It was this the
not
starting point?
immediately afterwards.
It wasn't
Not
immediate.
No,
So
no.
Take me to when it happened. Where were you?
Where the cleanse was?
Sure, like when you just realized that, hey, look, I gotta.
Shortly after rock bottom.
Okay, so take me to rock bottom.
We hadn't even hit rock. I was gonna say, Dad dies. 2 weeks later, I file for divorce. Me and wife separate.
Okay.
A week and a half after me and wife separate, her father passes away in the same way that my father passes away.
Ooh.
damn.
And Rick was a great guy.
Yeah.
And I love Alex. I love Rick. I don't have any ill will upon their family, and I'm sorry if I disclosed information that you didn't want to hear, Alex. I apologize if you ever hear this. But Rick was a great man, and we have different feelings about how we feel about the death of our fathers.
Yeah.
Not like in a bad way, but like in a way that I think I'm a little bit more mature than she is.
Okay.
And she thinks otherwise. But I mean, I didn't cheat twice in a marriage. So
Right.
like, I feel like I have the high ground here, Anakin. So so can't really call me out for nothing because I didn't do shit, dude. I was okay. I lied. I did do a little bit. I did have a little bit of a drinking problem.
Right. Okay. So Lance, take me to rock bottom.
Dude, so I'm drinking every day, doing a lot of pills.
What kind of
pills. Perks, Molly's, ibuprofens, Advil.
All at once type thing? Like, is it all just?
I mean, not all at once, but like I'd find a couple Xanax, fucking take, a bar and a half, 2 bars. Because I mean, Xanax, I can't really fuck with Xanax because that will literally kill you. So like, but I was just trying to get high and escape, and I was drinking while I was doing all of this, and it got so bad in the head mentally, like.
Yeah, of course.
There was this period of my life where it was just like I would wake up and immediately want to stop living. And I was just trying to get so high and so out of like reality that I was just going down such a bad road, dude. I mean, I wasn't writing, I wasn't being a musician at all. I was literally just I had weighed the most I'd ever weighed my entire life. I was doing so many drugs. I wasn't doing like hardcore drugs, but I was mixing a lot of things that could be deadly very fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I was doing everything but smoking weed, actually. I was doing everything but pot.
Yeah.
And like heroin. And then
really?
I hit rock bottom and I lose. I mean, I wasn't doing heroin. That's what I'm saying. I was doing everything but like meth, heroin, crack.
Yeah.
Those things. But like I was doing a little bit of coke. I was taking pills. I was doing some acid, mushrooms. I was doing all those types of hallucinogenics and shit like that. Like LSD, MDMA, DMT.
You did DMT?
Oh, dude.
Did you see any? What was your experience? What was your experience with that?
Dude.
What? Talk to us. Tell us.
I I don't know, dude.
You
I
think-
was so enveloped with a blanket of just like forgiveness. Like when I started the trip, right? I'm just everything wrong that I ever had done wrong in my life. I just felt like had been forgiven, and there was like a giant weight that lifted off my shoulders, and then I just kind of like floated into this big orange circle in the fucking sky, and then like I'm hearing all these voices of like, this isn't the end of life. Life goes on. Stay true to Christ. Like blah blah blah. Blah. Like all these things are going into my head. Like, and I don't know if it's just because I'm tripping balls or if it's because it's true. You know what I mean? Because like
Right.
DMT, your body naturally produces.
Right.
And like I had a whole fucking shaman. Like,
So where'd you go to? Hang on. So Lance, where'd you go for this?
Palmdale, California.
So you went to a place where they kind of do this DMT, and you have a guy that kind of walks you through it. So you were kind of like in a safe space.
Oh yeah, dude. My experience. I was in a like a 40-pound beanbag chair, bro.
No shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so did you feel like you met like because I've heard there's people. First off, everything you've talked about so far sounds like that's right around what I've talked to people about. They talk about that it's like this glow of love that is surrounding you.
Dude, it's the wildest shit. Like I've felt happiness in my life before.
Yeah.
I ain't never felt happiness like that shit, dude. That is some pure like it's not frightening, is what I'm telling you. Like
Yeah.
I would tell people if it was if you didn't have to use a blowtorch to do DMT, I would tell everyone to do DMT. But just simply for the fact, like, it's so hard to get your friends to do recreational drugs when the recreational drugs you choose to do requires a blowtorch and a glass nail with a fucking poker and some wax. I mean, it looks like I'm doing heroin. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm just doing some dabs.
So
That's all it
okay,
is.
so wait, hang on. So I've heard of DMT. I don't know the process of it. I thought it was just something you put on your tongue. It sounds like it's
No,
way more invested than that.
DMT is like I mean, you can put it on your tongue, but DMT is like a powder, right? And you just put it in like a pipe, and then you light the powder on fire, and you inhale the smoke that's created from you lighting the powder on fire.
Okay.
That immediately sends you into like a trip, and it only lasts like 12 minutes.
Oh, really? I thought it was like
Yeah,
8
it
hours.
only lasts like it lasts depending on how much you take. It lasts anywhere from like 12 to like 25 minutes.
Wow. So did you
And
meet it?
it's
Did you
not-
talk to anybody? Did you meet anybody?
No, I didn't meet God or anybody, but like I was totally in control of my consciousness. Like I was traveling inside of my own brain, dude. I was literally traveling and jumping from memory to memory through strands of memories throughout my life that were connected to like my cerebral cortex, and like I was inside my brain, dude. And I just like all of these voices were just like ambient music in the background, and these voices, and it's just orange. It's like this welcoming bright orange, almost like the sun,
Yeah.
but not too bright to where you can't look at it. You know what I mean? Like you
Okay.
can look at it and you're like, holy shit, this is the most amazing thing in
So
the world.
so when you came out of that and you were hearing voices of forgiveness and go with Christ, is that where you started going, okay, you know what? Like I can forgive myself and I can move forward in my life. And is that what started it?
I mean, that DMT experience was definitely an experience that I think was spiritualistic on the level of like I was in a place not of this earth. I do believe
Okay.
that, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it was the turning point of me looking myself in the face and going, hey, like you need to get your shit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was 3 weeks before I got out of the Marine Corps is when I got my shit together.
So take me to that day. Take me to that day.
It was a Saturday,
Yeah.
and I woke up like 4 p.m. I went to bed at like 8 p.m. the night before.
Oh wow.
So I was just depression sleeping and
Yeah.
like
Okay.
waking up and going back to sleep so I could like skip through and basically just using sleep as a tool to like get through the day. And I woke up at like 4 and got up out of the bed and just kind of like made my bed. And then I looked at my bed and I was like, my bed looks nice. I'm going to clean my room. And then I cleaned my room. And then I was like, my room looks nice. I'm going to clean my bathroom. And then I cleaned my bathroom. And I was like, my bathroom looks nice today. I'm going to clean myself and like actually wash myself and like take care of myself. And I did. And I did. I mean, I took a shower first and then ran a hot bath with Epsom salt and like I did a fucking sugar scrub. I shaved my stomach. I did my eyebrows. I did a face mask. I treated myself and actually like cared about my hygiene for a second and cleaned myself and immediately felt 20 times better about how I was and where I was at in that moment in life. I was like, for a moment in my life, I was like, you know what? Life's not bad. I feel pretty good right now. This is okay. I can deal with this. And then
That's pretty cool.
I went into the living room. The living room was a little bit dirty. I started living in the living room. And then I looked at the beer that was everywhere because we had just gotten done partying. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm done. And I said it out loud. Like, no one was home. It was just me.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the backyard picking up the beer cans. And I was like, I'm done. And I mean, obviously it was a lie because like I've had a beer every once in a while since that
But you were
process.
done with that type of destructive lifestyle, is what you're saying.
I was done. Yeah, I was done with that type of, dude. I haven't been to a bar in like 8 months. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I haven't been inside of a bar setting in like actually gone to a bar for the purpose of going to the bar. I haven't done in like 8 months. Now I've been to a bar to go like hang out with friends and watch a football game and have like a beer, but I haven't gone to the bar to get fucked up,
right,
and drink alcohol in a really, really long time.
So that's cool. So it started with you making your bed, which it's kind of funny. Is what I've been talking about.
It's the gayest shit ever. It's the most
clean. No, it's not. It's actually
dude. It kind of is. In my opinion, it is. It's
no.
It's so
I'll tell you why.
Military.
Lance, I'll tell you why I don't think it's bullshit. All right, is because you started making like literally in your house. You started creating these little positive momentums, right? You made your bed, positive momentum. You cleaned your room, positive momentum. You cleaned the toilet or the bathroom, positive momentum. Then you focused on yourself. And Greg said, and I don't think you heard it, it was the first time it was about you and that you were taking care of you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
I missed a little tidbit, but I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. Then you had all these little moments where you were just creating this momentum that you weren't even aware of, but you liked it. You picked up the beer cans. You're saying, I'm done. And then what? Did you start reading the Bible hardcore, or?
I didn't really start reading the Bible hardcore until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm reading it hardcore. Like I don't want to make it seem like it's something. I don't want to make it seem like I'm something that I'm not. I'm not going to lie to you about the amount of Bible. Yeah. I am definitely exploring my spirituality with Jesus Christ on a level that I have never done before. And I am doing it through reading passages in the Bible, using daily, what are those things called?
Devotionals.
Devotionals. Thank you. Devotionals. I picked up it's a 60-day devotional book for men.
Yeah.
Sure. One of those. I don't know what there's like a million of them. I just picked one at a CVS one day. And so I'm doing those. So that's pretty cool.
So what was today?
Today's was using your own strengths as a way to humble yourself in Christ. Like using your strengths in service of God and through God being humbled by the passion and the glory and the gifts that God has given you throughout your life, like reaping what you sow, but being humble for it.
Right.
Because you're doing it in Christ's name. And I mean, I will always be humble in the name of Christ because, well, he's God. So there ain't nothing much. He's just God.
He just wins that argument, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the Almighty. So I'm definitely searching my spirituality more than I ever have before in my life. And I think that my relationship with God right now is very, very good. I would say.
That's awesome. So that sent you on this path toward. So when did you kind of start writing music again? Like when did that start kicking in again?
It was actually that day.
The day you said you were done?
You were cleaning up and decided to write some music about it.
Yeah, and I had actually, that's when I got on the phone with Brendan, and me and Brendan were talking about we wanted to do some studio time, and we wanted to get some studio time in. And we finalized everything, and it was set from that moment out. It was like I had a purpose again. I was waking up every day with a purpose. I was making music. I was bringing things to life. I was finalizing choruses. I was doing lyrics. You know, we were talking with publishers. We're submitting things for competitions. You know what I mean? Like,
Very
we
cool.
go to the studio. We go to the studio in last November. We went to the studio and we professionally recorded I'll Take It From Here, which releases January 29th, all platforms.
Yeah. We'll definitely have the description down below. My wife heard it this morning because she asked me every Sunday, like, who are you talking to this week? And I told her, and I played the song, and she's like, oh, you're interviewing that guy? Like, so I was like, yeah, we're actually pretty good friends.
We did this.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm waiting for another installment of your daughter trying foods. It's been a minute, bro.
Yeah, I've been off on that lately. I don't think we've tried any new foods lately.
The last one you guys did was the pickles, and I was like, when is she gonna try a jalapeno or maybe a bell pepper?
Yeah.
I can't remember. My brother was doing the same thing, John. I was going to tell you that. My brother's like, he should have her try, and he told me something, and I can't remember what it was, but I will ask him. And he's like, I want to see her try that. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'll let him know.
I'm gonna take a rip. Is that cool, guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead. So that's cool, Lance. So basically, if you can just hear me while you're doing your thing, again, we're going back to that positive momentum, and you said you woke up with a purpose. I think what's a little bit underlying about that is that you woke up with a positive purpose. You woke up feeling good. You didn't wake up thinking, well, today's another day I'm going to decide if I'm going to die or live, and so I'll just drink and after I pass out, I'll let my body decide. It sounded like you started going, you know what? I'm up. I'm going to create something, and we're gonna make this special. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things that was.
Yeah. See, Lance, I love hearing these stories. I love hearing these stories about people that have looked like, depression, have looked at their life and at the worst moments and said, fuck it, I don't want to be here anymore. And they actually took control of their lives and they moved forward with it. And I think it's really important that people like you keep talking about this and letting people know that, look, man, we've all been there. We've all been at the dumps where we're at the, when we're at our lowest thinking, how the fuck do I get out of this? Or, and it sounds to me that it's through the people I've talked to, and Greg, you let me know if I'm veering off track here, or is that one moment where you go, I'm done. I'm done feeling sorry for myself. I'm done letting whatever decisions I've been making before are going to stop me now. I'm done. I'm going to start going on this positive path, creating this positive momentum, and I'm going to keep going forward. So,
well, I think it's important to recognize it as you're doing that positive momentum. I mean, it's not just doing the things, but like you got up and like you made your bed, and whether you realize it or not, that you're realizing that there's some self-worth in there. Like you did something positive, and then you cleaned something else, and then you cleaned something else, and then, like you said, you decided to kind of treat yourself. You took care of yourself. You don't take good care of things that you find worthless. So even if deep down, and even if you're not even mentally, it's not in the forefront of your mind yet, you're going, there is value here. There is something that needs to be taken care of and treated well. And so your body and your mind just start to keep on that, like you said, that momentum. And then as soon as you run out of those immediate things, then you go looking for things that you need to treat yourself to and keep that momentum going. And for you, and I think it's very possibly part of your music, if on that same day you're like, I'm going to start writing some stuff, I'm going to make something positive here. And I think that's great. And I hope that if someone is listening to this and they're in kind of that spot where, yeah, they are doing like the depression sleep, where they don't want to get up because they don't want to deal with the day, try it. try getting up and try making your bed, and then try cleaning your room. And if that's all you can do for a day, then that's all you can do for a day. But just have those things in there that start to build a little bit of that I'm caring for something because it's worth it, and I'm worth it. And see if that can set you on that path.
Well said, Greg.
Literally, like I feel what he just said can be summed up, and I feel like it's if I was to try to comfort anyone who is suffering from depression or anxiety or PTSD in the most loving way possible and with all of the respect and caring and love in the world, I need you to suck it the fuck up and just get up and take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Just get up and take a shower.
Yeah.
Get up and take a shower, and you will realize that whatever it is that you were worrying about has no effect on you. Why? Because you chose and made the conscious decision to get out of your bed and stop feeling sorry for yourself and turn the water on and clean yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like Greg said, you do not clean things that you do not find value in. And it was in that moment that I knew, I was like, I'm worth more than this. Like, I and not to like toot my own horn or anything, but like
Right.
I told myself, I was like, people need me. There are people in this world that need me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was kind of what, and I know that sounds so arrogant and so selfish, but it's like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I literally was telling myself, like, if I were to die, it would probably make them want to kill themselves. And I don't want to do that. And that sounds selfish, but that's what I said to myself to make myself believe that I was worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
No, that's great. That's I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend that I know what that demon is like that's talking to you that you're worthless and you need to end it. I can't imagine that avenue. But for those of, besides taking a shower, Lance, can you for a second go talk to people that are feeling that right now and tell them what's on the other side, if you can? If you feel comfortable doing that. Maybe I'm asking too much.
Oh, by no means are you asking too much, brother. It's an honorable question, and I feel like the position of an honorable man would have an honorable answer, and I would hope that I'm an honorable man. So, I need you to do me a favor and just breathe and take a second, and I need you to float above your feelings for a second. I'm not saying don't feel them. I'm saying allow yourself to feel them, but allow yourself to float above them. And I want you to specifically pinpoint and pick out exactly what emotions you're feeling, whether it be 1 or 6 of them. Figure out which ones they are, write them down, and explain to yourself, correlate an event that is causing your emotions to feel this. What happened? What triggered you? And then like when you can break it down, then you can turn irrational thoughts into rational solutions. Right? Because all depression is irrational thoughts, right? The definition of being depressed is we have no idea why we're sad. We're just fucking sad. There's a chemical imbalance in our brain that allows us not to get the proper amount of serotonin and dopamine that we need in our bodies to stay happy, and we're just fucking sad all the time, and we don't know why, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets so much better, but you have to just breathe, and you have to not allow the irrational thoughts to turn into irrational behavior. You have to allow yourself the separation to understand that what you're feeling is valid, but it's also irrational. But it doesn't mean you have to make an irrational decision based on an irrational emotion you've created from an irrational situation in your head from overthinking because of something that happened in the physical world. Like, you have to take time to connect all of those things and allow yourself to decompress and explain to yourself, like, okay, I just overthought because of this, and this. It's fine. Rational thought. Boom. You can kind of ground yourself and it allows yourself to
Yeah.
think, okay, where am I? Am I okay? Have I eaten? Have I drank? Am I bathed?
I think, yeah, I think what you're saying is, and it makes sense. Take that moment to take care of yourself and figure out why you're there. I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I feel like coming on, I need to go mop the floors, or I need to mentally get away from it. Where it sounds like to me, you're saying, hang on, don't panic about it. Let's just talk to ourselves about this and find a positive way out of it.
Yeah, you just gotta face the fear. I mean,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, it's scary. It's scary feeling emotions that you're
Of
not
course.
used to feeling.
Of course it is.
But the only way that you can get used to feeling something and being okay with how something feels is to, well, feel it.
Yeah.
And I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I have been
It
through
sounds like it.
a lot of things in the last 3 years that a lot of people would experience over maybe a span of 20. You know what I mean? The amount of funerals, the amount of deaths, the amount of suicides, the amount of bad things in life, the amount of family members lost, like all of the bad divorce, and like everything under the sun was just happening, and was happening so fast. I didn't have time to unwind it all and let it all out. You know what I mean? So I am still. That's why I'm single, dude, because I'm not trying to embark any kind of level of crazy onto I'm not trying to break a woman's heart right now, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Well, I think what a lot of people don't do is I think a lot of people are on autopilot. You go to high school, you go to college, you find your wife, you get married, you have kids. And that's the American dream, And
I did that. Well, I did everything but go to college, but getting the married thing, I tell you, unless they're a good person, it's just not fun. I gotta tell you.
It sounded like to me like you needed to figure yourself out first before you can start figuring out how you can help a relationship grow. I don't know if that makes sense. I you know what? This is the department where I believe Greg is kind of not the expert, but he has some good pearls of wisdom because he's done it and he works hard at it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't do either with a relationship. They don't work hard at it. They don't take the time to have those uncomfortable conversations. They don't take the time to be in that moment when what to do is just do this.
Yes, dude.
You can't.
You really, really can't. And with the tough thing or with the hard thing, right? He works hard at it. Life is hard, but you have to choose your hard, right?
Right.
Marriage is hard. Divorce is hard. Choose your hard.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually just saw that. I saw it on the internet the other day. Somebody posted. Maybe it was you. I don't know.
I am. Don't think I'm this, Gandhi of wisdom. I'm not. I saw it.
Hey, time out real quick. I know you guys aren't a Gandhi of wisdom because I'm the one that posted that and you both shared it.
You did? Okay.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's what it was. I'm like, I just saw that. Where did I see it? And it was choose your heart.
I got it off of somebody that I read.
I'm gonna get these guys.
Say it again. What'd you say?
I was going to say Johnny was in on it the whole time. He was like, these guys are talking about me, but they don't know that I was the one that posted it.
But you were going to say something, Greg. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, and it was just agreeing with that statement of like, and I'm coming off of 20 years, not off of, I'm in 20 years of marriage. And, I've, this might, I don't know if it's an exaggeration or not. I'd be like, yeah, I've been married for 20 years. 15 have been great. But because everybody's got, you total up all the bad times, the rough times, or it maybe has totaled up to 5 years. I don't know.
Right.
But it's that idea that, and I'm not, don't take this as I'm trying to trash people that have gotten a divorce. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it hasn't been easy. I mean, it's just something you got to constantly work at. You're both committed to, and that's just it.
For sure, absolutely. And I'm not saying I was a perfect husband. I made mistakes. I was a human being, but
none of us are. None of us are. There's no architect for being a perfect husband.
Yeah, no. Not really.
Here's one thing that I think happens a lot, and I think it's kind of ingrained in guys. It's ingrained almost in guys that when you're around each other at a party, you complain about bullshit that happens in your life, like in your marriage.
Right. Yeah.
There's like this little circle.
Women women do it too. I mean, it's
Right.
that idea that you trash talk your spouse when
Right.
you're around like your guy friends, or she'll trash talk
Oh yeah, dude, I
her
did
husband
that
when she's
too.
around
I
the
did
girl.
that too, and I was married for like 3 months, and I was already like, dude, my wife is pissing me the fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not saying that's the key, but my wife and I, we don't do that. I mean,
I was
when
going to
she,
say that, Greg. I think that, Greg, you actually posted something where, and I think you said the master is speaking. Everyone listen. It's from a Bruce Lee quote, basically
oh yeah,
saying that don't speak or don't talk ill will about yourself, even when you're joking. Okay, because you're putting it out in the universe. I believe that the same thing happens in marriage. You don't put it out in the universe. You don't sit there and say like, "Yeah, that bitch won't let me." Like you don't. You can literally talk yourself into being mad at your wife that night, and it really wasn't that bad. You were just in that group of guys. You got carried away. You want to be part of the guy group, and that's all bitching about their wives. I stopped doing that about,
Yep.
I would say, 5 years into my marriage. I just stopped doing it, and
Mhm.
like it, I agree with Greg. You don't do that. You don't. I just think if you start doing that, you start building a case. It's like that's the wrong way. You start putting something out there in the world that
Yeah.
you don't want out there.
yeah.
I mean, I know a guy that does that all the time. He will trash talk his wife just constantly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not real crazy about his wife either, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, I mean,
Does the wife deserve that? You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, it's was, but even still, I'm like that's your wife, and you don't seem to like her very much. I mean,
Right.
and you guys are married, you got 3 kids, I mean, everything else, and you're like, do you like hanging out with your wife? I mean, I still love hanging out with my wife.
Yeah.
When I say she's my best friend, I'm not kidding. We're into the same shit. I mean, that's part of what makes it fun. And
Like
this
the
guy
one
is like,
thing that you guys like do together that never gets old that you guys have.
uh, for me, I
Sex.
love.
I'm just kidding.
Well, that's all. I just figured that
I'm
was
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Greg.
common interest.
For us, it's literally, and this is it's in the mundane. It's the doing nothing. You know, what do you do? What are you doing? We're not doing anything. We're sitting at home watching TV. We're watching movies that we've seen, 100 times. But at the same time, I'm like, I would rather be bored with her than be bored with anybody else. And I think that's part of it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of that. When you're putting up with the bullshit and everything else, I'm like, well, at least I'm happy you're here.
Yeah.
I'm
That I'm
gonna
not.
put you on the spotlight for another second, but Greg, when because I know every dude has it. I remember when I had it, Johnny. I'm sure you had it, but Greg, that when was the moment that every other female in the world other than your wife like didn't matter? Like,
Ooh.
you know what I mean? Like the moment it switched in your brain, like this is my forever person. I don't want to do anything
Yeah.
else with any other woman. I
Yeah.
want this one.
Yeah. Good question.
That is a good question. I don't think I've ever had it phrased to me like that before.
What
So
was the moment you knew?
I think it was at one point when we had like just a knockdown, drag out argument, and I mean we're just dating at this point,
Yeah.
and it was one of those arguments where you're like, if it had been anybody else, you sit there and go, okay, well, this was fun, but this is where it ends. I mean, it was just one of those, the topic had to do with family and church, and I mean, just a ton of
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. It's like, well, this is where people break up, and we both kind of looked at each other and said, but we really don't want to. So let's figure this out. And I think it was probably at that point where you're like, if we're gonna fight this fight, like, and we're gonna do it together, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's you and me, babe. That's it.
So hang on, Greg.
Yeah.
Did you guys actually say that, or did you kind of have this
No,
emotional understanding of it with each other?
I think it was more that. It was more
Yeah.
that idea. So I mean, she may have a completely different answer to that
Right.
question. Like, when do you get to the point where this is your forever person? But
Right.
um for me, I think that was it. I mean, and we were young. I mean, we were super young.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think when
was
it comes
just,
to having the moment, I think as a significant other, when your significant other has one of those moments, I think it doesn't matter how long it takes them. I think as long as they have it, then it's meant to be, right?
well, I remember when I used to counsel, young people, and they would ask those questions. I mean, when I'm in my 20s, and they're like, "Why, you got married pretty young?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "How did you do that?" I said, "It wasn't this ton of bricks. I mean, this idea that you eventually have a moment where you're like, this is the person I love, and I'm going to marry them." I said, "It wasn't like that for me. It was this constant, like, for every hardship that would come up, that you've heard of people that have broken up over that, or
Yeah.
just in general, and you're like, are we good? Do we still want to be around each other? Yes, we do. Okay. Do I see myself doing this with anybody else? No, I don't. Okay. And you
Yeah.
just kind of, I mean, I didn't have like a real list of questions, but you just sit down and you ponder. I'm like, no, no, I still want her to be the one. So
I think if I can piggyback off that, Greg, to answer your question, Lance, for me, it's kind of the same. I don't think there's a definitive moment. I think there's definitive moments. There's a collection of all these moments where you
And I've
go
never thought
like,
of it like that.
shit, we didn't like I can clearly remember the one time that I said, you know what, yeah, for sure. But it always keeps happening.
Right.
There's always these moments that you find yourselves are pulling together after you could have just had this huge fight. You're pulling together to take on a common something, whatever else. Like there have been so many times my wife and I have been in arguments and we're not talking to each other for like 3 hours, and then all of a sudden a moment happens where now it can be something like Gwen falls and hurts herself, and we're both
right.
there, and it's like we just realize at that moment, like, what were we arguing about? This doesn't it didn't matter. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I said the things I said. You know, let's figure this out. And but that's the stuff that's why I asked Greg. Was that ever verbalized, or was that just almost an emotional connection of an understanding without saying words? And that's what Ursula and I have, and I bet that's what Greg has. And I think those are the things that, not that talking needs to happen, communication needs to happen, saying I'm sorry definitely needs to happen, but there are moments where you can realize, okay, we're back on the right path, and now we just need to be nice and heal as we're moving forward.
Well, you can argue healthy. I mean, there is healthy
Oh,
arguing.
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. And I
That's-
think, I mean, I know that every relationship isn't perfect. Like, people fart, people fight and people argue. I was going to say fight and argue, and I said fart. But I mean, Greg, I'm sure you and your wife, you still argue every once in a while, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a huge fight, but it's like, damn it, Greg, if you don't pick up your fucking socks or something like that. You know what I mean?
Something like that.
Like, there's moments that you and your wife both look at each other for a second and go, oh, if only. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what else was out there for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
My wife is a big fan of a quote from Kevin Bacon, the actor, who's been married to his wife for decades. And he said, they were on I don't know, they were on a talk show or something like that. And the interview said, what's the secret to a long lasting marriage? And he's like, oh, it's easy. Keep the fighting clean and the sex dirty. that's what I heard. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's my
Yeah.
wife.
That's something I've had to learn through the last 15 years is keeping the fighting clean. You know, even though she's acting like a bitch, you don't need to let her know she's acting like a bitch.
yeah, don't tell her she's a bitch. That's
Right.
the
'Cause it
thing.
doesn't
I had
help.
to
It doesn't
learn
help.
that. I didn't know that because I called my wife a bitch one time. I remember it. I called Alex a bitch, dude. Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, it was like
There's no
3
fair.
months.
No. There is no fair. There is no fair.
Okay, but like just
No. You're not
for
listening.
context clues, okay?
No.
It
You're
was
not
like
listening.
3 months of her just literally her calling me a piece of shit for like 3 months straight. And one day she calls me and I'm just like, I'm having a bad day. And she's like, can you still see my checking account? And I was like, yes, I can. It hasn't cleared from my app yet. We just separated like 2 weeks ago. it takes anywhere from like 6 months to a year, is what they said. I don't have access to it, but I'm gonna see it. We shared a bank account, and she was like, "You're such a blah 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 blah." Words were exchanged, and I said, "You know what? You're a fucking bitch." And I called her dude. I called her, and I felt immediate regret, dude. I just felt so bad.
Right. Yeah.
And I told her that I did.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying that you got to learn to argue nice.
Yeah.
Get your point across without calling names. That's
And for the longest time, I told her that I wasn't sorry about it.
Oh, well.
And I recently told her that I was actually very, very sorry about it.
Oh, there you go. So, Lance, take me down this here. All right, Bourbon Brothers. Okay.
Bourbon Brothers, me and Brendan John Pugh.
All right, so talk to me about this song. What's the song titled again?
The song is called "I'll Take It From Here."
All right, walk us through this.
And "I'll Take It From Here" is kind of like it's a song about a person who has lost someone, but to be more specific, someone who has lost a family member who was in the who's a member of the armed forces.
Okay.
Or a veteran or something like that, right? Someone who's lost a family member in the fight for freedom in some way, shape, or form, whether it be firefighter, police officer,
right,
whatever, or just a regular Americans. And it was kind of a way for me to allow someone to remember someone they've lost and to kind of tell themselves, like, you know what, even though they're gone, don't worry, I've got it. We're still going. I'm pushing. Like, I'm not letting it defeat me. I'm not letting the loss of you, whatever the relationship it might have been, father to son, friend to friend, wife to husband, whatever the relationship was, just for allow you to go, you know what? It does suck, but I am moving forward. I've got it from here. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Insert name here. I'll take it from here. Is the kind of the point. It's just to allow yourself to feel and embrace memories of a loved one that is no longer here.
Sounds awesome. So when's it come out?
Releases January 29th on all streaming platforms. So I guess by the time this airs tomorrow.
No, it'll air Thursday.
So it's out.
What day is
it comes out the 29th, so it'll come out Friday the 29th, right? Am I getting that right?
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
It's not right? No. Tomorrow's the 29th.
It'll come out today. Today it's releasing. It's releasing today. If this is by the time it releases, it will be releasing today.
So when you're done listening to this,
no, not true. This will be out the January 28th. You're saying it's coming out the 29th, so it's coming out on Friday. So tomorrow.
Yeah. So tomorrow, by the time this airs.
I'm sorry. Yes, I was actually literally thinking tomorrow. You guys meant Monday.
Oh no!
My fault. Yeah.
I thought I was the high one.
Yeah.
So head on over to Spotify or wherever you get.
Greg, I don't know. Are we friends on Facebook? I know me and Johnny are friends on Facebook. I don't know if me and you are friends on Facebook.
I don't think we are, and I can't check right now because my technology sucks today. So, but we could fix that.
Yeah, but the link is actually in my bio if you want to pre-save it. If not, we're only like 3 days away. So
we'll put it in. We'll do our best to put it in the description below in both our Instagram and Facebook. Try to get you in as quick as can. All right, my friend. We talked about a lot today. We're already an hour in. So how about we do this, Lance? We do something new that on our podcast here. We have something called the Gauntlet. All right.
Oh, goodness. I love it, dude. I don't know what. You don't even have to tell me. Let's go.
All right. I got 5 questions here. All right. Now, the leader in the household is our guest, Tina Santiago, where she got 4 out of 5 of these questions right. Okay. These questions are random. I haven't even looked at them yet, so I don't even know what's coming up.
Questions are random?
Yes. You ready?
Okay, maybe I do need a brief synopsis of how the game works.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Multiple choice questions.
Yeah, multiple choice.
Multiple choice questions. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Right. Here we go. When you're traveling on a New York City subway, 15% of the air you breathe is what? Is it A, dead skin, B, fecal matter, C, gas fumes, D, body odor.
I'm gonna say C, gas fumes, because I feel like people fart and like their farts contain methane, which is a gas. So
That
it's
would
got to
be,
be that, dude.
that
It's
would
gotta
be
that.
incorrect.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the answer is dead skin.
really?
15%, huh?
Yeah, when you're traveling on a New York City subway, 15% of the air you breathe is dead skin.
I would have for sure thought it was farts.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a higher percentage. We
Oh.
were talking about 15.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who's high
In
now?
a school percentage. Yeah. I should have thought about them.
All right, here we go. Headphones would keep the noise of the world out, but they're also great at keeping bacteria in the ear. Researchers found that after a person wears headphones for an hour, bacteria in their ear increases by, is it A, 250 times, B, 400 times, C, 900 times, D, 700 times? While you think about this, Greg, we should have some sort of like music going dun 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 dun.
I'll work on that.
So we said 250, 400, 900, and 700.
Correct.
250, 400.
Researchers found that after a person wears headphones for an hour, bacteria in their ear increases by those four. What do you say? This is where the music would be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, dude,
Well,
I'm going to have to say 700.
700? Final
Yeah.
answer?
Yeah.
That is correct, Lance. 700.
Ah, boy, yes. It just felt right, baby. It just felt right.
The thing about that question is, like, you started off at, like, was it 450? And
200, I think.
Dude, I thought it was going to be like 12 and a half.
I started at 250, 400,
250. Okay.
900,
So,
700.
but still, when you said the first one at 250, I'm like, that seems way too high. But then the numbers kept going up, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit, I got to pick from a lot of high numbers now. Because
Yeah.
I was totally prepared to be like 36 times,
Yeah.
2.5 times,
Yeah.
12
what I
and a
was.
half times, or 6 times.
Yeah. Makes me think I need to clean this shit out.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with headphones on or earbuds in for work, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But
All
maybe
right,
that
question
question was geared towards earbuds and not earphones.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Either way, I need cleaner. Is what I comes
All right, here we go. Question 3. A recent survey showed that 90% of offices have these and no one is the wiser. Is it A, a two-way mirror to watch employees, B, programs to spy on computers, C, hidden cameras, or D, fake thermostats?
Oh, dude, I've got to say fake thermostats.
Is that your final answer?
No, hold on. Fake thermostats, cameras.
Programs to spy on computers and two-way mirrors to watch employees. Remember, we're talking about percentages here, so this is a 90% of offices have these.
I don't know. I don't understand why 90% of offices would need two-way glass. I feel like that would be 10%.
Okay.
And I feel like, see, the software could be, because if they have a main network of computers that they use, they could install some like McAfee or some sort of program like that that's for security, but it's really they're able to spy on search history and shit. So I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with that one, 90%.
All right. First intuitions are always the best. It was D, fake thermostats.
Oh, I'm feeling, damn it. Shit.
So,
I
all
should
right.
have gone with it.
Yep, you should have gone with it. You were doing good. All right, Tina, you're still in the lead. All right,
Tina,
this is for second place, Lance. You are playing for second place. Here we go. Probably like Tom Brady will be playing for second place in the Super Bowl.
Oh.
You're 9% more likely to die on this holiday. Is it A, New Year's Eve, B, Christmas Day, C, Valentine's Day, D, New Year's Day?
New Year's Day.
All right. Greg, you got one, you think?
I think I'm going to say Christmas.
You are correct, Greg. It's Christmas Day, not New Year's Day.
Just with the amount of
Yeah.
traveling.
So are we? Oh, do we only have one right for Lance now? I mean, Lance.
I mean, how many more are there, dude? I got to redeem myself.
You got one more. That's it.
One more.
One more. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't know.
All right. If I win this one, I get one more question to even.
All right,
it
deal.
We
Okay.
do that.
All right. Heart disease and cancer are the leading causes of death in the United States. But the third leading cause might be the scariest medical mistakes by doctors, nurses, and hospitals lead to roughly how many deaths per year?
Ooh.
Okay. So basically, medical mistakes is the third leading cause of death.
Practitioner malpractice or.
All right.
Doctor
So
malpractice.
is it A? All right. This is deaths per year. Is it A, 150,000? B, 275,000? C, 400,000? D, 750,000?
I feel like it's got to be 250,000.
I didn't say 250,000.
Oh, 275,000. Sorry.
Final answer.
Final answer.
You are wrong, sir. It is 400,000. Thank you
Jesus
for playing
Christ.
Lance the Gauntlet. Hey, it's the Gauntlet for a reason, sir. It's not easy.
Well, I
Hey.
mean, it's like it's not like I can't even be mad at you. You didn't even know the questions either.
Nope.
This is all random.
It's all random. I don't know the questions. I don't even look at them. So, hey, sometimes they're very what's the word, Greg?
Dirty.
Yeah,
if
they're very
any of
dirty.
those were, if any of those would have been related to like music or like World of Warcraft, I would have got.
Or like World of Warcraft.
Or like marijuana, I would have had it. I would have known.
Probably. Lance, what's the song again? Plug it for us.
Play what?
Plug your
The song.
song.
Oh, I'll Take It From Here by the Bourbon Brothers, myself and Brendan John Plew, recorded and published, or not published, but produced by Glenn and Rich, Glenn Sawyer and Rich from the Spot Studios in Evergreen, Colorado.
Very cool.
They were the ones that made the magic happen.
Awesome. And it comes out this Friday. So guys, get to your streaming sites and download it. It's a good song. We'll try our best to tag his Instagram post so you can hear. He has a small little snippet of it on your Instagram right now, right? In the Bourbon Brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Where else can people find you, Lance? Where else can people find the Bourbon Brothers?
I mean, we're on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. We'll be on Spotify as of January 29th. And all streaming platforms too. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Pandora, stuff like that. Like I plan on marketing the hell out of it and just getting it on playlists and blasting it on all social media platforms.
Awesome. Greg, any final words?
Yeah, as you're going through life in the next week, just remember to don't be a douche.
Yep.
It costs zero effort. Well, okay, that's a lie. It does cost effort.
It may cost a little bit of effort depending on how your week goes, but in general, just don't be a douche.
Yeah.
Don't be a douche.
All right. So for Lance, the Greg, this is Johnny. Everybody, podcast out. Lance, thank you very much, man. You were awesome. Talk to you soon. Good luck
Thank you
on
so much, Jim.
your single.